Howdy, Possum Patty here, and what's on my desk Wednesday? It is completely covered from one end to the other and overflowing down on the floor. So I've got a few things to share with you. Come on along. Okay, there is a lot going on the table here. But let's just start right here. A few things I want to talk about that I have learned while doing this particular slow stitch project. And this slow stitch project, I talked about this in a video, I'll link that video below, is making these adorable little slow stitch fabric mushrooms. I finished this one today in the car. I think most of these are almost, like 99% made in the car. Very little stitching at home on these mushrooms, almost all done in the car. But I love this one. Isn't this one's adorable with the little heart? I'm calling these my mush mush mushrooms. Mush mush is like a word for lovey-dovey, mush mush. So I've got a whole bunch of them here. Look at this one, it's so cute with the little daisy on there. And I love this one. Very colorful. And this one's got a big pink heart and little flat beads, and this one's a beautiful autumn colors there. So they're all very different, and these are all going to find a new home. So if in that video that I link below, you in the comment section had left me a number because you said that you would like some happy mail from Possum Patty and you would like one of these mushrooms, then I really need you to go to Instagram. It's the same thing, just journaling with Possum Patty, and leave me a little message and your address. I do have some of the addresses of people that left a number, but there were a whole bunch that I don't have addresses for. So again, if you watch the video that I'll link below, and you popped in a number because you said you wanted a little bit of happy mail from Possum Patty and one of these slow stitch mushrooms, please send me your address on Instagram. Okay, let's continue on here. So while doing this project, mostly in the car, like I said, Mr. Possum suggested that I get a tray to sit in my lap because I was trying to put the scissors and the needles and the mushrooms and the fabric, all balancing everything on my lap while riding along on bumpy roads in the car. So we had passed a church and they were having a yard sale. We stopped in quick and I picked this up for like $1. I'm sure you can get something like this at the Dollar Tree or anywhere for cheap. But this was to benefit the church. So I said, okay, here's $1. I've got a tray. So this is working out really, really well. And this is a little bag that I put in my pocketbook. I really would like to switch to a bigger bag, but this one fits in my pocketbook for now. And in here, I have a little tin with my needles, and I put little pieces of magnetic sticky. It's like magnetic sticky, it's like you put on your refrigerator to hold my needles while traveling. I've got some flat beads in there. Oh, here's the mushroom that I'm working on right now. Isn't that adorable? That's not finished. Oh, and here's one that's got to get done. And scissors. And I have a handful of fabric. And at the bottom is a bunch of embroidery threads and one regular thread and some shiny thread. And what else? Oh, so number one, the tray works really, really well. And number two, I was finding that I had all these pieces of embroidery thread floating around in here. See, like this. Okay, like this. And, this is not very big, and I'm putting a lot in here. So what I did was I popped in this little piece of cardstock, and if I have a little bit of thread left over, I just wind it around like that. I mean, I'm sure everybody knows this already, but okay. So when I find that I need to start a new color or a new piece of thread, then I pull it out and I try to use what's on this first before I start a new color. So I've got these two. So if I'm looking for some blue or green or purple or pink or red, then I pull this out and I try to use this thread first before I go to the bobbin. Okay, there's also, I did put some of these little daisies in here, and I got it on one of the mushrooms. I thought this was cute, just to put a little daisy on there. I'm trying not to get too elaborate because I want it to go in a flat envelope, but so the beads are flat and the little daisies flat, but the little daisy's cute. We could even put one on there if I wanted to, or down here in this circle. Isn't that cute? I could do that. Anyway, so that's my little kit. And my two innovations that I found that make life easier when slow stitching on the go. Number one, the tray. And number two, those little pieces of cardboard. Very simple things, right? Just makes life easier. Wrapping the thread on the paper like that. Oh, and one more thing. Let's make it three things. I found that cutting the mushroom shapes before I go anywhere was a big help, because sometimes it's a little bit hard to cut while in the car. It's hard enough to sew, but trying to cut a shape out was a little difficult, and I found it easier to do it here with the big scissors and then just pop it in the bag and be ready to go. So these are done. This is almost done. This one's got to get started. So these will just go back in the bag with the scissors and the material and the needle. And this is ready to go anywhere, anytime. Okay, moving on. Well, there is Halloween stuff all over the table because I'm working on my Halloween journal, but I still have more to do. But that's not what I'm going to do today. I'm moving some of this stuff out of the way because I want to do a page in my journal, my flower-shaped journal. There are several things I want to journal about in this flower-shaped journal, and while I have this book on the table, I might just do one of them right now. Oh my gosh, and I went crazy at the flea market. Mr. Possum was about ready to disown me. Oh well. Yeah, there's a lot of things I need to clean up and organize and show you and then put away. I have flower fairies, my willow trees. I have fun just journaling about the simplest things. And this was just, oh, my willow tree is growing really nicely in the backyard. I did this whole page about that. Okay. Moving on to the next page. Now, let's see. My grandniece did a beautiful coloring page. She's the one who folded it all up. And she colored in this princess, like a rainbow dress. I love it. And I love that on the edge here. Can you see that? There's no line. She just put in her own design and she added some extra colors here and down there. I thought that was really nice. And then even on the dress, she did more than one color in the spaces and just kept mixing up all the colors. And I love, and look at the top of the blouse. She divided that and did 2 colors there and 2 colors on the sleeve and made that sleeve an extra color. I just love the way she just put all the colors in there. She did this side too. So I'm going to make a pocket because she she folded it all up. I do something on the page, make a little pocket there. Oh, and put her picture. And I thought I would use some princesses from this illustrated fairy tale book. Oh, and as a thank you for giving me this picture, I bought her a little sticker book by this same company. And it's a little princess book, and the stickers are actually articles of clothing. So it's like a paper doll in a way, but once you put the sticker on, of course, you can't take it off. But it was really, really cute, and I sent that off to her today. I wish I had taken a picture of it, or maybe I can find it online. It was so cute. And I made her a little thank you card, and I took some princesses out of here to make her the little thank you card. What was a prince and a princess? There are some more. No, what's he doing in there? There are some more princesses in here. Oh, this is the frog prince. This is really cute. So what I'm going to do is, as you can see, I've been ripping this up and using it. Oh, I really love the little frog. Oh, look at the princess in the mud. All right, so let me let me go through here and pull out some pictures that I can decorate the page with. Oh, here's Cinderella. And then I'll come back. This is not going to be a complicated page, just a little pocket and a picture. I'm back. And as you can see, I really got some work done on this spread. So let me go back and tell you, kind of like what I did. Well, first of all, I didn't get very far, and I stopped journaling, and I went in the other room, watched a movie with Mr. Possum. We watched Dungeons and Dragons. And it was so much better than I thought it was going to be. It's Chris Pine, and there's some famous people in there, and it was funny, and it was well done, and we had a good time watching Dungeons and Dragons, if you can believe it. It was just funny. It was just super funny. Anyway, so this morning, while Mr. Possum was still asleep, I got up early, and in my quiet journaling time, I did all of this. So the first thing I did was pick out the picture from the fairy tale book, and I chose Cinderella with her dress on. You can see the fairy godmother's magic wand over there. And then I was looking for a pretty background, which I figured pinks and yellows and things would go really nicely. So I got out the watercolorist pad, and I got this at, say it with me, the flea market. It's a DCWV, very nice paper. And I thought, oh, this would make a gorgeous background, right? But for some reason, I turned this paper over, and I was like, oh, I want to use this for the background, and then put flowers on top of it. So I made this the background, and then I ripped the picture a little bit around the edge, and I put it down like a tuck. We're doing a tuck style pocket. Oh, and I don't usually do this, and I don't know why, but I was like, I'm going to leave the words. I usually take all the words off if I'm taking out a book page, but it just says, on her feet was a perfect pair of dainty glass slippers, and you can see the slippers down there, and I purposely didn't cover it up. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to leave the words, because this is fairy tale princesses. It's a story, so let's leave a little bit of the story in there. And again, I don't usually do that, but I did. And so I got that down, and I'm like, well, now I have to decorate the page. So I sat here and I cut out flowers and pasted them all over the page. And I was like, duh. I could have just used this paper in the background, but no. I had to glue this side down and then cut out all the flowers and put them around the picture. But I do like what I did because it's a contrast with the background, and I was able to overlap little bits of the flowers and the petals onto what is now the tuck, okay? So a little method to my madness here. All right, so I'm loving the page, and I've got it sort of like a bottom corner tuck. So the princess picture is going in there. I still have to make the little journaling card with the picture of the artist on there. And while I had this side drying, I said, I have to use the pictures of the frog prince because I just love those little frogs. Oh my gosh, I love the little frogs. Well, while I was cleaning out the garden the other day, I saw a frog, and this is a pickerel frog. And I printed out his picture. I put a little heart there. And I said, okay, so I'm going to make this a matching spread. Well, this side is about Millie's coloring page. This side is about the frog that I saw in the garden. So this time I did take the flowered paper and use it as the background. Okay, that was the first step I did. And then I picked out a page, but I'm like, okay, I left a little bit of the story on this page. On her feet was a perfect pair of dainty glass slippers. I just love that. I said, I'm going to put a little bit of the story on this side too. And this will be like the princess fairy tale spread. You never know where I'm going with the page, right? So I found a back-to-back that I liked. And on this side, outside, the frog lay sprawled on the palace lawn. Poppy picked him up as gently as she could. Are you all right? She whispered. Yes, croaked the frog, carefully feeling his head. I didn't mean to hurt you, said Poppy. I'm so sorry. And she bent down and kissed him. And there was a crash of thunder and a shower of sparks. The frog vanished. In his place stood a handsome young prince. I'm sorry, I make myself laugh. Okay. So all I did was take this out of the book. I did rip the edge a little bit. I don't know, it's just too many straight lines going on here. And I glued it. I bent the page a little bit there and glued it to the background. And then I put a piece of washi there. Very colorful. I just thought it went with the paper. And I put some yellow washi on the inside. I did take some of this paper that I used over there. And I know it's a weird shape, but that's the shape the paper was. You know, it was just one of these weird pieces that is sitting around. And I decided I would just use it as it was. And I got some more pictures from the Frog Prince. And this is me at Soggy Bottom, all wet and muddy, cleaning out my garden. And look at the expression on the little frog. I love it. So I was going to put that on the inside. Because that's me with the frog. Oh, and then I have the frog's picture. So that'll go in there too. Somehow I'll get this all in here, right? Probably. Something like that. Something like that. Okay. Then a little space for journaling, and I cut out more frogs. I have to have a frog at the top of the page. And then I thought, well, I can make a closure. And I took another one of the frogs from the story. I love these frogs. And I just glued it to a piece of the cardstock. And what I'm going to do over here is put a brad, right? That's what those are, brads. And do a swivel out thing like that. And I haven't done this in a while either. So I'm going to put a brad there and that'll go out like that. That'll hold the page closed. And I'll glue that frog there. And I may cut out, a few more things. We'll see. Oh, and I have to do a journaling card about the artists. So all that to go still. So yeah, I had a lot of fun. A little quiet journaling this morning. All right, so I know I want that frog up there. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue him down. So that's a good place to start. So what was going to be one simple page for the little artist is now turned into a spread with some nature journaling. Okay, so he's going to go up here. And we'll let that dry. Okay, this paper comes out of the printer as a sticker. And I think I'll put them down here so you can see a little bit of that pink. And then I'm going to glue her right there. So far, so good. All right, give me a minute to do my journaling, and then I'll come back and do this piece over here. Well, first of all, I almost wrote August instead of September. Time's going by too quickly. And I was using this really pretty sparkly, twinkling like the stars pen, and it sort of gave out in the middle of Pickerel Frog in the Front Garden. So I had to go look for another one. This one is dry. Trash can. Okay. So I found this one, which is a Jelly Roll Metallic. Although this looks like it's got some sparkle in it. So I tried covering the beginning of the sentence, Pickerel Frog in the Front Garden. And I guess that'll work out okay. It'll work out okay. And while I was searching for pens, I found this one, Juicy Grape Sparkly Marker. And I was like, oh, I can do some mark making. And I put a dot there. And this is, because you got to have some fun, right? Oh, I thought about putting a couple of dots there just to fill up this space like that. And this will take a minute to dry, but that's okay. Where am I? I'm on the yellow lines, which are hard to see. They don't have to be all even. Oh, I'm getting really crooked. Did good on the bottom. Okay. All right. Now, I've got to let the pen dry before I close this, and I did stick a flower there. So I've got to let this dry, and as soon as that is dry, I can put this on and put it in the book. So in the meantime, let's work on a card for the little artist here. So for the little artist card here, I just put her picture, September 12th, 2023, and her name. And I put a frog diving into the pond on the back, just for fun, And I was thinking about putting a little piece of washi tape in the corners, because I kind of like how that looks. And I forget to do it all the time. There's so many techniques that you learn from other folks. And you see things and you're like, oh, I love the way that looks. And there's just so much we can do. Okay. So I'm going to let this dry. All right, back to this page. And before I glue this down, I have to put the, ooh, I got all kinds. Brad down. Oh, I was thinking green, but I can go with any color because I was going to put it by that purple. Oh, look at the little purple heart. Wow, is there a little green heart? Get a white heart. Don't make me have to dump this whole thing out now. All right, so let's go with the purple heart. The purple heart. And this is gonna go probably right there. Should I use a pokey tool to get it started? Probably right about there. And I gotta go through 3 layers of paper. That's okay. We did it. Make that nice and flat. Perfect. Possum perfect. Okay, I'm gonna glue this page in and take one last look at the spread, and we just may be done here. Okie dokie, very colorful, very fun. I have a frog on standby in case we need him. So I love this. I didn't put any flowers down here in the corner on purpose because that's where I have to reach in and pull out the beautiful artwork. And about the artist and her picture. Get the little frog on the back. Whoops. And I just stick it in there. And on this side we have a lot of frogs and a page from the Frog Prince. And the frog I found out in the front garden. And Possum Patty full of mud at Soggy Bottom. So that's a little bit of nature or garden journaling there. So what do you think? I think that has flowers all the way to the edge. It sort of meets these flowers. I was thinking of some washi there, but I don't think I need washi. What about the little frog? Okay. Here we go. One more thing. And this may be it. Oh, you know what? I had saved, I don't know where it is now. I had saved the title, The Frog Prince, off of one of the pages. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, here's at the top of the page. Would that fit there? Let's see. And rip it out and see how that looks. Okay, I might just glue that down here at the bottom. Okay, that's it. No more things. I did add this beautiful thin green washi with little gold hearts there leading down to the frog with the title The Frog Prince. Still wet a little bit. Let me press it down there. And I was like, ooh, I should add that somewhere else. So I did put a little piece across there where I didn't put any flowers. So that's wanted this corner to look different than the rest of the page because that's where, like I said, you can pull that out. So I'm loving that. And now I'm loving this too. Very interactive here. Lots to do on these pages. And that is my Princess and the Frog fairy tale spread for today. So I just want to remind you about the mushroom deal. Go back to the beginning of the video and pay attention to what I said about the mushrooms. And I'll link that video below. And happy junk journaling. Bye-bye.